Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chatty Podcast with me, T. I hope you're all doing extremely well and have had a lovely week. I'm ill again. I feel like I should just start telling you when I'm well instead of when I'm ill, because at this point I'm ill more than I'm well. So, absolutely fuming. But yeah, this week is going to be a very trash news kind of week. We're going to talk about Love Island, we're going to talk about Molly-Mae, we're going to talk about State Girl on TikTok. We're going to talk about all things trash news, all things popular culture. And yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned. And if it doesn't, then my apologies. Maybe don't listen. No, but I'm also having just intense issues with this microphone. Like, are you ready? I'll show you all exactly what I mean. Welcome to how this sounds. What? Can you hear me now? No. And it's on a setting where it's supposed to work from both, but it doesn't. So I don't really know why that's going on. And I feel like it still sounds weird and a bit echoey and muffly. And I'm really sorry for that. I need to invest in a new microphone, I feel. But yes, also I used to be able to hold the microphone down here. And now I don't think you can hear me unless it's right next to my mouth. And I got a new camera stand that wobbles every time I move my microphone. So honestly, production, I'm trying to improve. Like, now I've got a stand, which is so nice and so fun, because I was building large contraptions on my bed that would wobble. I mean, this still wobbles, but it's easier to put up than these large contraptions on my bed. So yeah, I hope you're all bearing with me whilst I sort out the technical difficulties, but I hope you find my personality entertaining, and I am beginning to waffle. So let's get right into it with story times of the week. Major story time of the week is that I've booked myself to run a half marathon in 5 weeks. Sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. One of the girls I went to school with is running the London Marathon, and I've been seeing her in the gym and like training, and we've just been chatting. And she was like, well, I'm running a half marathon in 6 weeks if you want to do it with me. And I was like, yeah, sure. Impulsive Tiela. It's like, yeah, books it. Then checks my calendar afterwards, and I'm going to a rave the day before, and I thought no. And my boyfriend was like, it's like an early one, you could just not go to the, because we've got 2 raves, we're going to another one after the first rave. He was like, you could just not go to the second one. And I was like, no, I just want to enjoy it. For anyone wondering, I'm going to see Sub Focus at Ali Pali. I'm really excited. But yeah, I was like, no, I just want to enjoy it. I don't want to worry about getting home early, blah blah blah. So I was like, I might be able to refund it and get that money credited onto my account, which I could do successfully. And I thought, oh, I'll just book it for the one the weekend before. But not really thinking that I've just given myself even a week less. I mean, 6 weeks was pushing it, like 6 weeks to train for a half. And now I've given myself 5 weeks to train for a half. But I'm thinking, I run on the regs. Like, I run at least 2 10Ks a week, and I run minimum 4 times a week, most times 5 times a week. So I'm thinking hopefully I can do it. I ran 15k the other day at 5:46 pace. It took me about an hour and 26 minutes, and I felt good. I felt maybe, I mean, it was hard, but I was thinking I could run another 6k. Hopefully I can do it. I would absolutely love to run it in under 2 hours, but it's my first half marathon. I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I actually really am. I am putting loads of pressure on myself. I'm just telling myself that I'm not putting pressure on myself because I'm stressing myself out. You're welcome for that internal monologue. Anyway. Yeah, I'd love to run it in sub 2 hours, but I need to be running I need maximum, minimum. Like, the slowest I can run to do it in under 2 hours is 5:41. Which is quicker than I've ran any of my runs so far. But I got the runner training running app, and I'm documenting how my training's going on that. I'm going to make a little TikTok series. So if you're invested or want to see what I'm getting up to with running, go follow me on TikTok, The Chatty Podcast. I'm doing little weekly vlogs over there. So yeah, hopefully guys, I would if I run it in under 2 hours, I'll buy myself a new microphone. How about that? With the non-existent money I have, but I'll save, and then maybe that's the step to reward myself for the hard work and the pod. Maybe we get a new microphone. What else was my stories of the week? Oh yeah, that other story of the week. This is literally so random. But I was at the shops, like just Budgeons the other night, and I was buying some things, blah blah blah. And I go to the guy, have a nice evening, and he looked at me and he went, okay. He didn't say you too, and it just really threw me. I was like, oh, okay, like I understand you're working late, but like, do you really have to wish, like, not that he wished me a bad evening, but he wasn't wishing me well, you know, he wasn't wishing me a good evening. And I thought, that's quite rude, that is. Have a nice evening. Okay. Oh, offended. Any other stories of the week? Oh yeah, sorry, my tea is falling over. Another story of the week is that I think I've told you. Have I told you that we've got new neighbours and they steal our parking spaces? Anyway, evolution for that, I found somewhere else to park. And it's like a first come, first serve for the parking spaces, but I'm just tend to be home last out of all the neighbours. So I found myself a new parking space. And I normally reverse park into it because it makes it easier to get out in the morning because it's like on a main road. But I reverse parked the other day and I was going to my car and I was going into my boot, which was obviously against like the grass, not the road. And I thought there was a rat sleeping. Silly me. It was huge, like huge. If you're watching, I'm about to show how huge it was. Huge. And I literally sacked off going in the boot. I thought, absolutely not. No, this is a life or death situation. This rat could wake up at any moment, and just jumped into my car and headed out of there. Then I was telling my boyfriend about it, and he was looking at me like, this rat's not sleeping, it's dead. I returned back to my parking space. The rat is still there. I'm like, right, it's dead. It's a goner. She's not asleep. I was kind of hoping it was asleep because then it wouldn't have been there when I got back. But no, the dead rat just sat there for days and days. I think it's been about a week. And I told my boyfriend this, and I was like, I can't reverse park my car because I can't go near this dead rat to go in my boot. Like, it's creeping me out on so many levels. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies. I just cannot look at it. Absolutely not. Anyway, he moved the rat for me. Sorry, this is probably so silly and no one cares. But the fact that this man moved a dead rat for me so that I felt comfortable parking my car in a way that makes the boot accessible, I just thought, wow. That's like, you love me. You just moved a dead, rotting rat. Like, at this point, it had been there like a good few days, so it's rotting. Moved a dead, rotting rat for me because I was too scared to go into my boot. And I just think, wow. I appreciate that more than anything. So Jordan, if you're listening, big shout out. Love you to pieces. That was my other story of the week. Quite boring. Is there anything else? My life has kind of been consumed by running since I've decided to book this half marathon, and I'm kind of really excited about it. How do I even describe it? I'm enjoying the idea that I'm having a big mental challenge, and I think since I've left uni and had a bit of a cry the other day because I just was like, I feel like a useless bum, even though not like I'm actively looking for jobs, I'm actively, creating my podcast. Since I've left uni and have been unemployed, I just feel a bit useless. And I hate that feeling. I don't like feeling like I'm not achieving anything. And so I'm really excited to have the goal of the half marathon to like achieve something. Even if I don't do it in sub 2 hours, I would have run a half marathon, Like, that's so cool. That is something to be proud of, and I enjoy feeling proud of myself. I enjoy setting myself goals, achieving them, working really hard to achieve them, doing it, and getting that high afterwards. I love it. So I'm happy, I'm funny about that. And like, even when I ran 15k the other day, I was absolutely buzzing, like bouncing off the walls. I was like, said it a million times, I'm so proud of myself, and it is just so cool because I ran a 15k at 5:46 pace, and a couple of months ago I was running a 5k in 32 minutes, which I don't know what pace that is exactly, but it's not 5:45, so proud of myself. And bringing up, this segues on to the Molly-Mae documentary, because I love Molly-Mae. I think I've said this before. If you follow me on TikTok, you definitely know I love Molly-Mae. I don't understand why so many people hate her, because to me she just seems like the most goal-orientated boss woman ever, and I love that for her. I love that for her. I like that she accepts that she doesn't like going out drinking and she likes a bath and an early night. I like that she's just accepted that about herself, and that's what she promotes, because that's what she actually does. I like that she has achieved so many things. I feel proud of her. I feel proud of her for her, you know, like she really is. I kind of look up to her. Like, she's gone out, she's done it, she's become like arguably one of the biggest influencers, and she did that, you know, herself, and I think that's really cool and admirable. And so yeah, kind of inspired by Molly-Mae. Leading us on to the documentary, what did we all think about the Molly-Mae documentary? Personally, I absolutely loved it. I loved it. And I loved it not because it was really good, but I didn't love it specifically because it was so amazing. It was like a well-crafted documentary, blah, blah, blah. I loved it because I'm nosy. I'm really nosy. And I want to know the behind the scenes. I've seen what you've achieved. I want to know how you've achieved it. And I like that it, you know, it showed the setbacks Molly's had, blah, blah, blah. And like, Instagram really does show your life to be like picture perfect. Example, like when she broke up with Tommy, no one really saw that coming. I mean, we saw silly videos of him out in clubs, but they looked very happy, like through her Instagram page. A few weeks before, she's posting like happy anniversary, blah, blah, blah. I like that you can see that even these people that you can idolize and look perfect, they are going through some, you know. So I loved the documentary because I'm nosy and I liked to know what's going on. I liked seeing what her dad said about her and her sister said about her, and seeing the videos of her when she was little. But it just really reminded me of, I really do want to be someone who I want to be a presenter. I want to be in the public eye, I suppose. I might regret that one day, but I honestly really would enjoy that as a job. I'd like to work in broadcast journalism and contribute to the media landscape, and watching little videos of Molly like being that person that is annoying everyone because she's got a camera out, and you know, her family always said to her like, oh, we always could tell that Molly was going to be famous. Seeing that you can have like that drive and passion from a young age was just really nice to see, because I just hope I can do something in this space and aspire to be something that my kids one day will be like, wow, like you worked really hard and you've achieved that, whatever that is, or whatever that ends up being. But it's just really funny because because it made me think of when I was younger. I used to sit, like, you know, in primary school you all sit on the carpet, and when it would be like the register, then you all say like, yes miss, or here, or whatever you say. When it would come to my name and she'd go, Tiela, I go, yeah, I would think in my head, I mean, this might be really self-absorbed of me, self-absorbed child over here, when it would say Tiela, I used to like say my name in my head, like Tiela. I'd be like, oh my god, my name's Tiela, and like picture how it was spelled, like T-ALA. I'd be like, my name is Tiela. Like, think about the way it looked and think about other people saying it, and I was like, that is a really cool name. Like, I could be someone really cool one day because I've got such a cool name, which is also why my kids are going to have really cool names one day. And I don't want them to have a name that anyone else has, because I want them to feel as special as I did with my name. Because I just think, I don't know, like those little things, like when you're 4 or 5, are funny thoughts to remember now as an adult, and maybe they inspire my adult self to do well for that little 4-year-old Tiela. But yeah, that I found it very entertaining. Another thing about the Molly-Mae documentary that I loved was I liked seeing her chats with her sister, because her sister was very brutally honest with her. That is how my sisters are with me. I think that's just a sister thing, you know, because they're not your friends, You can never really leave your sisters, you know, like they can be savage and you can't really be offended, like they're your sisters, but they like can be so honest with you in such a savage way, but you love them, and you can really, I feel like when my sisters tell me things, I really listen to them, whereas when my friends tell me things, I feel like I'm still a bit delusional, you know. I'm really excited for the next episodes to come out. I'm really glad that everyone else has liked the Molly-Mae documentary, because I hate it when she gets hate. My boyfriend's going to be listening to this podcast thinking, rolling eyes emoji inserted, like, you're obsessed with Molly-Mae. But I just think she's really cool. I think she's a boss woman, and she looks after herself, and she lives in her big house, and she's got a kid, and she's making it work. She finds things difficult, but she makes it work, and she is killing it. So go her. I'm proud of her. Tea of the week this week is just peppermint again. But when I'm ill, or I just want peppermint tea because my stomach hurts, I've got sore throat, so peppermint tea, honey, lovely. The Molly-Mae documentary also sort of made me think about like my content and what I want to do with my life, and made me think, like, there's moments with this podcast, obviously we're only like, this is my 10th episode. Oh yeah, happy 10th episode. Can't believe we've done 10 episodes. That's so cool. But yeah, it kind of made me think, like, sometimes I am a bit disheartened with it, like when like posts don't get many likes, or I feel like my TikTok engagement used to be so much better than it is now. And I like don't know why. And I'm trying to figure out, like, can I even be a solo act, because I think my personality comes out so much more when I'm around people. And yeah, like I'm like, is this even entertaining? Like I have that thought all the time, and I hope it is I hope it is entertaining, and maybe I will start getting some guests on so that, you know, you can see what I'm like when I'm with people. But yeah, I have felt really disheartened. But the Molly-Mae documentary, like, watching all her videos from way back when she, before Love Island, I was like, you've just got to keep going. Like, you just never know what could happen, you know. And I think one thing, like, looking at Molly-Mae that makes me feel disheartened is, like, she's so young. Like, what's she, 25? And I think that's only me in 3 years. And I think, God, I'm just, like, she achieved so much by the time she was my age, and I'm only 22. But then you also look at people who are literally just starting and they're like 30. So, you know, everyone's on their own timeline, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying I want to be Molly-Mae, but I would love to achieve everything she's achieved. I'd love to be at her level of success. Mainly I never want to worry about money. That'd be my goal, like, just have enough money that I can help my family and not have to worry about money. Like, it's just not a concern, you know. So hopefully we get there. I think it's normal to feel disheartened, especially like trying to enter the social media world now is insanely hard, because everyone and their mum are here. Everyone's here, everyone's loud, everyone's got opinions, everyone's got big personalities. So my big personality doesn't seem so big anymore. But yes, the topic of Molly-Mae nicely segues on to Love Island, because obviously her big success really came from Love Island. But Love Island All Stars is on. I think we're on week 2. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. My favourites are... I don't have any favourites. Everyone pisses me off. Everyone annoys me, but I enjoy watching it. The Scott and Luca drama, I think, is so stupid. Number 1, Scott, why are you squaring up to Luca at your big age of 36? Your big age of 36 and you're squaring up to Luca. I just don't understand that behaviour. All Luca said was like, if you're going to say something, say it, like, blah, blah, blah. And he like got all like this, and Scott suddenly squares up to him like, who are you talking to? Blah, blah, blah. You're 36, Scott. And everyone's like, oh, Luca's such a child. Blah, blah, blah. Scott is literally, I'm sorry, it antagonised him. And no, Luca shouldn't have said what he said about Tina, and he should have just kept that to himself. And yeah, he did act immature, but I think, honestly, everyone's like, oh, Scott's so mature, like he acts like such a mature wise person. Like, oh, you can't be doing that at my age. No, Scott, you can't be doing that at your age. You can't be squaring up to little boys at your age. Like, do you think that makes you look hard? confused because it doesn't. It makes you look pathetic. And then Luca, I think, is a bit of a loser. No, I do quite like Luca, but he has his moments where I just think, I don't really think him and Grace are him and Grace. Like, I don't really think that's going to go anywhere. Also, Grace looks so much older than she is. Sorry. I don't ever want to be mean about someone's looks, but I honestly, every time I watch Love Island in the past couple of years, it really makes me realise how sad it is that so many girls feel that they need to change their face with filler and Botox and plastic surgery and whatever they're getting done, because every single one of them, that's not their face. Like, that's not the face you were born with. And I just think it's so sad that so many girls are doing this to themselves, like, to the point where they've cast a whole Love Island and every single one of you has work done, bar like Catherine. I don't think Catherine's had any work done. That is so sad. That is absolutely so sad. And I really do think Love Island need to start picking girls who have had nothing done, because I think we must stop promoting this normalcy, whatever the word is, around having your face full of filler and Botox and all this stuff. Like, not every, like, no, you don't need it. I'm just such a firm believer in, like, you're born with your face. Like, I don't understand why we're all changing it and we all want bigger lips, or you all want, like, this cat eye, like, facelift face. Like, your face isn't supposed to look like that. And it just really upsets me. And, like, Grace is a gorgeous girl, but I think she'd be even more gorgeous if she never had any work done. And, like, a video came up on my TikTok of her, like, before she's going into the villa, getting her, like, Botox and filler updated or whatever. And I just think it must stop. It must stop. Like, she says, I'm not going to get a lot done, and proceeds to label about 5 things on her face that she wants changing. We can't be promoting these videos. This is what I got done before the video, the villa, blah, blah, blah. This is how I'm going to change my face. Surely we shouldn't be promoting this. It upsets me to the root of my core. I just think it's crazy, and so many girls get this stuff done. And it's like, it really comes back to beauty standards and how we've told women that so much of their value comes from what they look like, because you don't see men going and getting all this stuff done. They might get, like, their hair cut every week, and maybe some boys hop on a sunbed, but they're not getting all this work done. And I think, girls, we need to stop it because it's making us all look horrendous. So that's my 2 cents. Sorry, I'm not. So, like, because the thing is, I also want to say, do whatever makes you happy, but I think it's sad that this is what is making people happy, like, changing their genetic makeup of what they look like. I think that's sad. So yeah, sorry, rant over. I'll go back onto Love Island. Moving back on, Kaz annoys me. She just does. I really wanted to like Kaz, but she just annoys me. She annoyed me with the Ronnie situation in the beginning. She annoys me that she tries to get to know every guy, and I know that should annoy me because that is literally the whole reason they're in there. I just think, like, she looks desperate. And I just think, my dad obviously had 3 daughters, and he always used to say to us, never let a man pick you pick your man, you know? And she is letting men just, like, pick her. Like, she's not selectively picking her man. She's just being like, someone take me, you know? Even though she said no to Ron. But I think that's another thing, so toxic. It's like, women want... I'm really generalising, this isn't all women, obviously. But women want the guy that doesn't want them, you know? And it's the same for men, I think. Men want the woman that doesn't want them. Why are we like this? Why are we so toxic as a society? It's not okay, guys. But yeah, not really a fan of Kaz. I thought maybe she'll grow on me. She's not growing on me. Maybe I'll update you if she grows on me. Who else is there? Harriet walking back in. She's an interesting human being. I don't really have much to say on Harriet. I don't really know if I like her or not. In her original season, she really annoyed me. I didn't like her at all. Now, I kind of feel like she's grown up a bit, but I don't know. I like that she just didn't care when she found out that Ron didn't fancy her. She was like, okay, cool. That's weird, but sure. I love that. No tears, no drama. She was just like, cool. She knows she's pretty, you know? As long as you are confident in yourself, I think that's the most important thing. No one can get you down, you know? Catherine kind of annoys me as well, but I don't really know why she annoys me. Ekin-Su is just fabulous television. Like, she knows just when to interject her point. She knows just when to stir the pot. She just knows how to work television. She was made for reality television. And how she sort of fell off after her season and sort of disappeared into nowhere is beyond me, because that girl needs her own television show. She is TV gold. I love Ekin-Su. I would never have put her with Curtis, but it kind of works. Curtis is kind of... Do I like Curtis? I don't know. I think I do. I like him with Ekin-Su. I think they're such opposites and it kind of works. You know? What's another couple? Tina. I don't like Tina from Made in Chelsea, so I initially didn't really like her on Love Island. She's not really done anything to offend me on Love Island, but I just don't like her for getting rid of Rez in Made in Chelsea, so I have a bias there. Casey annoys me. I think, why are you on your third Love Island and you were on Made in Chelsea? It's just giving a bit desperate for the fame. Like the 5 minutes of fame, like when they get a challenge and it's like, who's playing a game, who just wants fame. I don't understand why everyone's not picking Casey, because it's literally his third time in their fourth reality TV show. You know, like, I feel like you need to leave that bubble now. You need to evolve. You need to make yourself a brand. You need to do something else with your career, and it's clearly just not working. Every time he comes out, he doesn't get the growth he wants and he goes back in, you know? But I think he's not shaping himself to look like a more and more likeable person. I think that's the issue. So yeah, that's my opinion on Casey. Who else is in there? Elma annoys me again. I just think she annoyed me when she was with Ronnie, because I just think she was a bit too obsessed with him. And she annoys me now that she's not with Ronnie, because she's just so bitter about the whole situation, I feel. Because I actually don't really feel like Ronnie is that much of a bad guy. Like, he's just an idiot, you know? And I think Harriet's come in and he's just melted, and there's nothing the boy can do about it. Like, he was trying to move on with Elma, blah blah blah. Harriet's come back, feelings have all come back. He's been like, oh crap, I'm really sorry. He told her immediately. It's not like he dilly-dallied between the two. He like pretty much immediately was like, no, I just want Harriet. And Elma's like, well, was anything we had real then? And he was like, yes babes, it was real. It's just that he has something more with someone else, and that's really hard to hear and really hard to admit, but I think she needs to stop being this so salty about it. Or like, just deal with it inside like a boss. Hold your feelings. I'm not me telling people to hold their feelings in, but I think she needs to put in more of a front, you know, and like, she doesn't care. I think she needs to just put the act on. Go cry yourself to sleep if you need to, but in front of him, do not let that man know he's upset you like that. Do you know what I mean? Also, I feel like Ronnie's just like, even more icked out in the first place. So that's my opinion on Elma. I feel so bad for Naz. Naz is just, like, in the first season, he was sort of, you know, he wasn't really getting girls, but he was like still presented as like a fun, lovable character. We all loved him. We all rooted for him. This season, he's just, I forget he's there. He's just sort of floated into the background, and it's probably the editing. He's had absolutely zero airtime, but I do feel bad for him because he is just absolutely being forgotten in that lineup. So, not ideal for Naz. It made me laugh when he said that he was most attracted to Elma. I think that's just him trying to couple up with the only person that's available, because I think he probably fancies one of the other girls more, but he's just shot his shot. Oh, I did talk about Luca and Grace, but I ended up just speaking about what Grace. I'm just going on a filler rant. I actually really like Grace's personality though. All of the memes and the edits on TikTok about Grace's savageness, I absolutely love that. I think she's really cool. Who else? Who else is there? Okay, that's my roundup. Everyone else has clearly not made enough of an impact on me for me to remember them right now. So yeah, I will update you guys next week on my thoughts on what's gone on. I always feel like the first few weeks are quite slow. It starts getting juicy from now on. I'm really excited to watch Love Island tonight. I love Love Island, I'm not gonna lie. I love the trash TV. I love reality TV. I just think it's so interesting to watch people be put in these little social experiments and see what happens to their personalities. The next thing I want to talk about is just a TikTok phenomenon to me. Steak Girl. Her name's like Stephanie on TikTok, but her real name's Katie. And just every day she just films herself eating a steak. And as someone who absolutely adores steak, is my favourite food ever in the world, plus a burrito, it just makes me want to eat a steak a day as well. But literally all she does every day is she just sits up a camera, she eats a steak, and all her comments are just everyone telling her that she can't eat steak every day and she's going to get gout. And she's just, every day she just says how everyone's just being brainwashed to think eating meat is bad for you. And there's just like this little debate about whether she's healthy or not. I just find it so entertaining. But what I find even more entertaining is that how popular she is, like how everyone's clearly finding this entertaining. I find it entertaining because I like steak, you know. Why are there vegetarians watching this? Why? I'm so confused. Like, how in this day, like, how have we evolved so much with social media that this is what's popular? This is what you can do. Eat a steak a day and you've got nearly like what, 1 million followers. I don't know if she's got 1 million followers. She's got a lot of followers. Like, what? It just blows my mind that this is like people can find that interesting, you know? But they do. And I do. But it's amazing to me that it is so interesting. You know? Does that make any sense? I honestly feel like this needs to be studied. If I really want to do a master's, I think, because I wrote my dissertation. Oh, I've told you guys so many times what I wrote my dissertation on. Anyway, I would love to go back, do a master's and do some more social research on like the world of social media, reality television, because it's just astounding to me how interesting we find it all and how popular this stuff is. And the impact that is having on other people is just so interesting to me. I might just do my own dissertation for funsies. That is so nerdy. What the hell? I'm not going to do that. But that does make me want to go and do a master's. Panic Masters a year later is something. If I'm still unemployed by September, guys, maybe I'll be doing Panic Masters. The unemployment is actually killing me off. It's really starting to make me sad. I go to bed at night and the thought that helps me sleep is the image of me having a job. I just picture myself like in a good job and then I go to sleep. How sad is that? Unemployment getting me absolutely down, making me cry. Anyway, moving on. Back to Love Island really fast. I can't believe I forgot to add this bit in. Where have all the challenges gone? I hated the challenges where they were like dress up as a policeman and then they like went down a slide and grinded on someone and then snogged them at the end. Boring. But where is like the Twitter challenge? That was so much fun when they had to guess who each tweet was talking about. Why don't we want them to know what the public are thinking? It's so good for the ones who are hated to kind of know they're not liked. It's interesting to see that. Like it's interesting to watch them understand what the public is thinking. I loved that challenge. Lie detector, such a good one. Where's that one gone? The baby challenge. I enjoyed the baby challenge. Why is that gone too? Like, I don't understand why we've taken away these things that switched it up a bit. You know, every day is sort of the same. Why aren't we giving them the challenges to talk about? Or, you know, bring that back. Love Island, I petition to bring that back. Also, like, season like 1 and 2 of Love Island, where we had this, I think 3 as well, where we had this smoking area. Oh, so good. And I liked how, like, I saw this TikTok the other day and it was like evaluating what Olivia Bowen wore on her date with Alex. And she wore like her hair in literally half up, half down, messiest hairstyle you ever did see. A jumper. Like she looked like she just rolled out of bed. But I loved that. Like they didn't care what they looked like as much. And I know you can't really make girls not care what they look like when they're on national television, but I wish they just didn't care a little bit more. You know? I wish they were just a bit more carefree and real, like just what you would normally be like on a normal day. But the issue is they all know that they're on national television, that everyone's going to see this and there's going to be memes made out of them and they want to look nice in the memes. I don't understand that, but I just wish that they didn't, you know? Like, the girls in the smoking room area used to be there in their pajamas chatting shit, smoking their cigarettes, and it was entertaining. And I know, like, even if they had the vape corner, and I know we shouldn't be promoting smoking and vaping, but it was entertaining television. I also think you should let them have more than one drink. Like, it's not, like, do you know, you're not exploiting them. I feel if you just give them like two or three, that's how much you would normally drink on a normal day, and I feel like that would be a little bit more entertaining too. You know, I feel like we're really censoring the entertaining bits of television. Um, but it's also like I can tell, like, I literally wrote my dissertation on how reality television exploits participants, but the exploitation is kind of entertaining to watch, which is literally also the big negative for reality television. So, and it makes it unsafe. So I understand why they're not doing it, but what a line to toil with. Which is why, again, why I just find so like reality television so interesting. It's just interesting concept. And again, why do people find that so entertaining? I think it's we're all nosy. And I think everyone's a bit curious about human behaviour. So I think it's just such a direct way to observe human behaviour, you know? But you have to be mindful that it's so manipulated. But then it's interesting to see how people react even under manipulated circumstances. You know? I feel like take a shot every time I've said in this podcast. I also feel like on social media, everyone's breaking up. Sam Thompson and Zara McDermott have broken up, and Tasha and Andrew have broken up. Crazy. Didn't see those ones coming. I wonder why. Again, I wonder why. I want to know. I want everyone, once they break up with someone, to release a documentary. I'm nosy. You know? You know. But yeah, I think public figures, influencers, reality television people are a phenomenon that I want to know more about, purely because like their whole image and like why people are invested in them is because of their lives and their personalities. And then when things happen that you don't know about, you feel invested in their lives and you want to know more and more and more and more and more. But yeah, what an interesting time to be alive in this weird media landscape. Maybe I'll do a master's again one day. Not again. I mean, maybe I'll do my first master's. Wish me luck on my half marathon training. Follow me on TikTok if you want to keep updated with the half marathon training. Give this podcast a 5-star review if you're listening. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching. And yeah, I'll see you all next week. Love you all. Bye.